ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Verse number 21. अपाणिपादोऽहमचिन्त्य शक्तिः पश्याम्यचक्षुःसशृणोम्यकर्म अकर्णः पश्याम्यचक्षुःसशृणोम्यकर्णः अहं विजानामि विविक्तरूपम् न चास्ति वेत्ता मम चित्सदाहम्। Continuing in the contemplative mode after analyzing the three states of experience and delineating the Atma, which is the single one that is there in and through all the states without becoming any state, and this Atma is equated to the cause of the universe, and this Atma is what is consciousness. And then we also saw that which is called the cause of the universe, Ishvara, and that which is called the cause, the effect of the effect in the form of the Jiva, is neither cause nor effect. This consciousness is free of becoming cause or becoming effect. The causality is as though superimposed upon this Atma, which is free of being cause. It's just like when somebody says you are a son or a daughter, and then one takes that role seriously. Seriously means one thinks that one is that much alone. One thinks one is son, one thinks one is daughter, and then therefore what happens as a result? As a result of that, the roles, the problem of the roles latch on to the person. And then after that, through the study of Vedanta, what do we find out? What do we understand? The role of son, the role of daughter is that which is as though superimposed upon that consciousness which is free of being son, free of being daughter, free of being mother, father, because I play many roles. If I am only daughter, only son, then what about the other roles? Who is playing the other roles? It's very interesting. because you could be with your mother, and then in relation to your mother, what are you? Daughter or son. And then you could have your own son or daughter. In relation to your child, what are you? Mother or father. And let's say all the three generations are going somewhere on a pilgrimage. You are there with your parents, and then you are there with your children. Let us visualize that. And we have seen like that. Families go together, 2-3 generations are going. So now, for the children, you are mother, father. For the mother, father, you are son, daughter. But you are not confused. You are not confused at all. You are able to play the role very, very easily. You have no problem effectively transitioning from the role of son, daughter to what? Mother, father. No problem. Nobody has this problem. Very seamlessly the transition happens. And we don't think about this much. We take this transition for granted. We think, oh, this is how it is. But it is not how it is. If I was only son or daughter, I should be having a tantrum in front of my own child. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And in fact, there are even subtle differences. A mother's son is different from a father's son. There is a difference. The daughter relates to the mother differently than to the father differently. So how is this accomplished? This is accomplished because you are neither your father's son, nor are you your mother's daughter. You are neither daughter nor son, nor mother, nor father, nor sister, nor brother. And that's why you are able to effect all these roles without having any residue. Of course, because of ajnanam, the problems of the role pile on and are mistakenly attributed to the Atma, and one suffers, which is why we need this. But the best part about this analysis we have understood so far is that you are neither father nor mother, no role is there. And you are neither the cause of the universe. That causality is also superimposed upon this Atma free of causality. And you are not the effect in the form of the Jagat. That status of effect is also superimposed upon that same consciousness, which is free of being either cause or effect. But then why are we looking at the causality? Because we are living in a manifest universe. And that is where the pain is. I am separate from the cause. I am alienated. Cause is cause, I am because. This is the problem. I don't want to be because. What do I want to be? The cause. I want to be the cause. So therefore, at the Vyavaharika level, at the empirical level of the everyday reality, we have to have this equation. We have to go through the manifest universe, because this is where the pain is. The pain is because I am alienated from everybody and everything. I don't know where I fit, and everybody and everything is against me. This is the conclusion. It is like having the same conclusion like what? The rope snake is ready to attack me. The rope snake is look, it moved. No, that's because it's windy. No, it moved. And especially if it is a frayed rope, it will be like this at one end. What is this? The split tongue of the snake. That also you see in the dark, low light conditions. And then you are convinced, one person is convinced, it is ready to attack me, I am scared, help me, save me, trahimam, pahimam. Yeah. That is one person. Another person, Brihaspati, is what? Brihaspati is sarcastically speaking, like somebody who's unwise, we say, you are nothing other than Lord Jupiter, okay? Yeah, so the first person is what? Scared. It's look, here it is. Look, it is menacingly raising its hood and it's got this split tongue. Look. Ah, help me, save me. It's attacking any minute now. I have to leave here. I can't stay here along with this snake. snake. Okay, and then one person is convinced it's about to attack, the other person is convinced it has already bitten me. Ajnana sarpa dashtaha. The one that is bitten by what kind of a snake? Rope snake. And then the person comes into the house jumping like a chicken without a head, jumping up and down like a headless chicken. I've been bitten. I feel all paralyzed, because they have read in the books, what happens after snake bite. Something is happening. I feel my tingling in the legs, in the hands. I'm paralyzed. I'm about to be paralyzed, all stiff. And the family people get very scared. Oh my God, we didn't know there was a snake. Oh, you poor thing, what should we do? Fortunately, there is one sensible person who was visiting, let's say, the house, and that person says, no problem, snake bite is no longer a death sentence. We can rush this person to the emergency room, etc. No problem. While we are doing that, let's find out where it has bitten. And the hands and the legs and the body is examined. There is no fang mark anywhere. Because we need to know which kind of snake it is for the Vaidya, the doctor, to give medicine, antidote, injection. You have to find out what kind of an animal are we dealing with. And then when they can't find the bite mark, they do the next best thing as they wait for the ambulance. What do they say? They say, okay, let's go outside. Show me this snake that bit you. No, I can't handle going outside. It will bite me again. No, doesn't matter. Please show. Over there it is. Without looking at it, the person points to what? Saul and Aropa. That's why it's called Aropa, because there is rope involved. And so the person points to the rope that is there. Look, it is still there. And then everybody heaves a sigh of relief. And if the ambulance comes, they will direct him to a different destination. Okay, yeah. Somewhere where there is a mental checkup available. That's what we have to do, because this is no longer a physical problem. Vedanta addresses psychological problems, not like garden variety neuroses, which everybody has. These universal psychological problems, not specialized psychological problem. For that you need a specialist. But general low-grade underconfidence, low-grade pains, sorrows, mistakes, and because of the mistakes, the heavy price that one pays by coming to the wrong conclusions and spoiling the whole day. The whole day gets spoiled because of a wrong assessment, a wrong conclusion. A subjective reality that preponderates can be dismantled in the light of Vedanta. Then, so this is why this whole thing has to be understood properly. So therefore, this role of mother, father, teacher, whatever the role is, all that is just as though superimposition upon that which is not at all subject to any change, any role, nothing. Because it, without undergoing any change, it supports all roles without becoming any one role. Now there is a beautiful verse, if this much is understood, this is what we did in the last 3-4 days, and now a very beautiful verse is coming, and I have trouble chanting it because I am thinking of the same similar verse that is there in the chapter 3 of Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which we must study sometimes. Very beautiful Upanishad. So in chapter 3, probably verse 11, it has a almost ditto verse. Apanipado javano grihita pashyatya chakshuhu shrunotya karnaha yavetti sarvam nacha tasyasti veda tamahuhu agryam purusham mahantam. Something like that it is there. It's very, very similar. And beautiful treatise on all the paradoxes of Vedanta. And the paradoxes are talked about here. Apanipadah aham. Apanipadah means I am a no-legged person, no-hand person. Oh, you are just the torso? Not even that. Meaning, I am free of all karmendriyas. I do not need karmendriyas. I do not need organs of action. Why don't you need organs of action? Because as consciousness, what am I? Non-doer, akarta. If I am akarta, why will I need organs of action? Tell me. Waste, useless. So, and then here it is apanipadah achintya shaktihi aham. Achintya shaktihi means that I am that power which is incomprehensible. I am of the nature of incomprehensible power. Why? Because that which is limitless is the only powerful thing in the universe. The one whose power is unchecked, that is what is limitless. And the one whose power is unchecked is the one that is being talked about here as that consciousness. Why is it unchecked? How many consciousnesses are there? One. So therefore there is no source other than itself to be checked. No checker, no checked. It alone is. So unchecked power and incomprehensible power. Because if you try to make the Atma an object, you objectify the Atma, what happens? It doesn't become, it is not possible. Why? Because it's not an object. It doesn't become an object. It is who? You. That Atma is alone you, nothing else it is. And so therefore what? So therefore we have to see that this is apara shaktihi, achintya shaktihi. And who is this? Aham. I am of the form of that which is a non-doer. Why? Because I as consciousness have no karmendriyas. There it was a paradox in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Apanipadah javanaha. Javanaha means that which is faster than the speed of mind. So no legs, but it is faster than the speed of the mind. No hands, but it grasps at everything. There it was much more of a paradox. Here it is just similar, but it goes in a slightly different direction. And so here the apanipadah achintya shaktihi. One would think that here also we can say that there is a paradox. What is the paradox? One would think that if you have no hands or legs, you have no shakti to begin with. Anybody can do biff and you fall off. You can't even protect yourself. No. Apanipadah, I don't have to need, it is not brute shakti. It is not brute force here. What is it? It is a subtle shakti. Achintya shakti, that which cannot be objectified. It is the shakti of satisfaction. It is the shakti of fulfillment. It is a quiet shakti which is all pervasive, because of which everything is, because of which everything becomes powerful. Is from this power only everything is charged. It's like some kind of a electric place where the electricity center, where everything, the whole city's electricity is given through this particular station. So it is like that station which has inexhaustible electricity, and then from there it goes to all the houses in that area. without undergoing any change, without doing that, and then it manifests as light bulb, it manifests as the moving washing machine, it manifests as AC, it manifests as computer, so many things. But it is none of them, those are just names and forms through which the current is flowing. And so here also the Shakti flows through each and every Jiva. All our Shaktis, because of this apara, achintya, incomprehensible power. We draw the Shakti from this Ishvara, from this consciousness, Brahman, and then which is inexhaustible Shakti, incomprehensible Shakti. And then Pashyami. Now, having dismissed the Karmendriyas, we come to the Jnanendriyas in the second line, sense organs. Organs of actions dismissed for the consciousness, for Atma. And now we come to what? Sense organs. Pashyami. I see. Okay, what's the big deal? We all see. Achakshuhu. I am without eyes, but I see. How do you see without eyes? Because I do not need eyes to see. Why? Because the sight that we are talking about is all knowledge. All knowledge without a second, all knowledge without anything there, no qualifications, nothing, and all knowledge that is free of the three things that is there whenever we talk about anything. What are the three things? Knower. And then suppose we talk of this, then first we have knower, then we have flower. Knower of what? Flower. So knower, subject, flower, object. And in between there has to be something to bridge the knower and the known. What is that? Sight. Sight, pramana. Sight, in this case sight. Sight is the bridge here, and so this is the triad. This is the triputi. This is the tripod in Vedanta that has to be dismantled. No matter what, it has to be dismantled. Otherwise, the subject-object difference will always be there. And so that is why not only the subject-object difference must be swallowed up in the light of the fact that there is only one thing and one thing alone. Along with swallowing the subject-object difference, the pramana which bridge the subject and the object is also falsified, swallowed up. So usually in every cognition, in every activity, in every interaction, there are these three things. Thinker, thought, mode of thinking. Seer, seen, sight. Hearer, heard, and mode of hearing. All this is there in any activity. And here when it says, Pashyami achakshuhu, I am the seer without eyes. Meaning what? In my presence everything happens. There is nothing that is happening that I don't know of. Like this one, Lord Indra's wife, God Indra, the king of heaven, his wife's name is Shachi. And this Shachi is supposed to have thousands of eyes on her body, everywhere, front, back, everything. A little creepy if you see the photo, and when they draw the photo and all, it's a little bit creepy. Looks like she's come from some other planet, but for whatever it is, she has got 1,000 eyes all over the body, all over the back of the head. So you can think that, okay, she's all seeing, all knowing. This is not even all seeing, all knowing, because if she knows what is happening, just let's say she's standing in the ashram square and then she just knows all around what is happening. She doesn't know what's happening in Rishikesh, much less what's happening in India, much less what's happening in the world, in this crazy, crazy world that we are living in. So she won't know that. But here, consciousness, Pashyami achakshuhu. It doesn't need even 1,000 eyes. It doesn't even need one eye. Like one asura is there, one Greek asura called Cyclops, and then he had only one eye. So it's not even like this Cyclops creature. It's not like Shachi. It doesn't even need one eye. What to talk of 1,000 eyes? Without eyes it sees means that it blesses everything, including for the sight to take place through various eyes. It is all knowing without a mind. This is very important. See, we are as jivas small knowing. Why? Because the brain is tiny compared to how much knowledge there is there out in the universe. The brain is tiny. It cannot take in everything. You have overload. You say, no, I can't take in more. I can't handle any more than this. And especially Sanskrit, no more. This is what the feeling is. But then here it is all knowledge without a container. No mind. No mind. Amanaha. Somewhere else it will be said. Amanaha. Amanaha means free of the confining nature of the mind. That's why Ishvara doesn't have raga dvesha. No mind. No antahkarana. No mind means, Ishvara is dull. And then it's just like some developmental problems. Ishvara has no brains, no mind. No. All knowledge, without that knowledge needing to sit in a separate head, number one, and all knowledge which is not divided into knower, known and means of knowing, which is a very big thing, because then only you can say, I am omniscient, I am all knowing. That is when you can say, because there is no head. There is absolutely no constricting factor for this knowledge, either externally or internally. So therefore, pashyami achakshuhu. And that is one meaning. Second meaning is closer to home, where we can enjoy this meaning because it is much more pertinent, because we think the eyes are the one that are seeing. Are the eyes seeing? No, because otherwise a dead person's eyes will also see, and they will interfere in their own funeral. Hey, what are you doing? Where are all these people that loved me? How come you're not crying? Oh, you look happy. But that doesn't happen. Does that happen? No. The person may have passed off without closing the eyelids. Sometimes the eyes are open, but you go like this and nobody home. That's how you know the person has passed away. That's how you know the person is not there. If the eyes were the cause of sight, all the dead people would start seeing. But that doesn't happen. And so that means there is something behind the eyes that causes it to see, which has now departed this body. What is that? The first go-to is mind. The mind is the one that directs the eye to see. Okay, but then the mind itself you can see, correct? You can objectify the mind. You say, I am restless, I am feeling restless. This is objectifying the mind. So the mind also is not the ultimate seer, which doesn't become seen. The mind itself can become seen. And then what else is left? Sakshi. Sakshi, consciousness. Apara Shaktihi. What is that? Achintya Shaktihi. Apanipadaha. Achintya Shaktihi. Pashyati. That one sees. And that one's sight is always there. That's why another word for Atma is alupta drik. Alupta drik means a seer without eyelids. Because if you have eyelids, you will blink. You may miss something when you blink. And we even have an expression. It happened in when did you lose your phone? I don't know. It happened in a blink of an eye. That means in a blink, many things you can miss. And so here, it's a non-blinking seer. Alupta drik. Like this. No eyelids. Constantly seeing everything. It's a drik in a way, seer, but without eyes. This is the opening verse what is mentioned here is also iterated in the opening verse of the, which one? The Drig Drishya Viveka. Rupam Drishyam. Rupam means what? Form. Yeah, wake up. Okay, yeah. Rupam means form. Drishyam means object. Rupam Drishyam. When the form is an object, then who is the subject? Lochanam Drik. The eyes are the seer, the form of this flower is the seen. Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Drik. But then what happened? Suddenly something got into this person's eye. Oh, something, maybe an eyelash, maybe what we call a foreign body. And then you had to sort of think what happened. Tad Drishyam, now the object has changed. Before I was looking at the flower, then something got into my eye, and then I am rubbing it and trying to look at the eye itself. Now what is the object? Eye is the object. Not I, capital I, but here I, E-Y-E. I is the object. The flower gone, I is the object. And then the mind comes to the rescue. Mind is the seer, I is the object. The mind says, okay, there was a lot of dust in this building where you are standing, so maybe some dust particles went. But then the mind itself becomes an object. When I am sad, I am upset, I am restless. Are you sad? No. You are the observer of the sadness in the mind. You are the observer of what? The restlessness of the mind. Now what is the subject and object? Mind is the object. And then who is the subject? Sakshi. Don't hesitate. Sakshi. Sakshi is the subject. And now the Sakshi is watched over by who? No one. If you say there is another Sakshi, then we'll be here forever. We can't say it's a 3 months course, because then we have to interrogate into the Sakshi of the Sakshi of the Sakshi of the Sakshi of the Sakshi. Will the real and the final Sakshi please stand up? So therefore the buck stops with me alone. This is where it is. And so therefore what? Therefore this is Rupam, let's complete that verse. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. Tad Drishyam. When the eyes become the object, Driktu Manasam, the mind is the seer. The Drishyaha Dhivrittayaha. And the shenanigans of the mind are also what? Drishya. They are also objectified, they are also seen in a way. And Drishya Dhivrittayah Sakshi Drik Natu Drishyate. This Sakshi is not an object of sight. We stop there and say the Sakshi can never ever be what? Objectified. It is not an object, forever subject. This is how the Atma here sees. In its presence everything happens. There is nothing that it doesn't know, because it is everything. Everything is non-separate from it. There is nothing that happens about which it does not know. So this all-knowing, all-seeing Atma. And then what else? So to make matters a little more full, Shrinomi Akarnaha. Without ears, the Atma hears everything, including that grinding sound which has been there all morning. Atma hears. Atma hears means, as though hears means is aware of all sights and sounds. Alupta Drik and Alupta Shrotru too. Everything it hears, everything it knows, the all-knowing Atma without an Antahkarana. And then Aham Vijanami. So that one doesn't take this to be somebody else. something else. Aham, it is me. All this, the one who sees without the eyes, the one who hears without the ears, the one who is without do worship, etc., is who? Me. Aham, it is owned up in the third line. Aham vijanami. I know everything. What do I know? Jagataha, we have to add Vivikta Rupam. Vivikta Rupam means the variegated and manifold names and forms in the Jagat. Who knows? I know. And here the I has been walked over to consciousness. Otherwise, if it's the I is referring to the Jiva, this will not make any sense at all. You don't even know all the species in the universe. What do you mean, I know everything? You cannot be the all-knower as long as one is identified with the body-mind-sense complex. Otherwise, if the equation is there to Ishvara, one can understand, I am non-separate from everything, and this knowing being that I am, this knowingness, this chit is all-pervasive and all-knowing. Therefore, I am all-knowing. See, there are two kinds of knowing where Jiva and Ishvara are concerned. One is called Sarvagyaha. Sarvam janati iti Sarvagyaha. Sarvam means all, janati knows, therefore Sarvagyaha all knowing. This is one word. And the other word used for Bhagavan, first word is this, second word is what? Sarvavit. Sarvam vetti iti sarvavit. Sarvavit means what? All knowing. So then why do you have to say this, the two of them together? Yes, Sarvagnyah Sarvavit Yasyaiva Mahima Bhuvi. In the Mundakopanishad it is said. There is a verse like that. So why use two words which have the same meaning? That means the meaning is slightly different. And what the Shastra says is Sarvagnya is the one who knows everything in general, and this is true of you also. As you come to know you are Brahman, you become a Sarvagnya. How I become a Sarvagnya? Because then here it's all a matter of semantics. What is the meaning of Sarvam? All. So what constitutes all? So all the things in the world which I know, plus all the things in the world that I don't know, can we say this is all? Yes. And so, do I know the things that I know? Yes. Do I know that there are many things I don't know? Yes. Then you are all-knowing. Wait, what happened? Exactly. That's exactly how you are all-knowing, because all means that you know plus that which you don't know. And here you are all-knowing because you know what you know, and you also know that you don't know many things. At this level you can have equation with Ishvara. And then the word Sarvavit is used to talk about knowing things in particular. Like Ishvara knows Greek language, Ishvara knows all the branches of knowledge, everything Ishvara knows. And you might not know everything in particular as a Brahmagyani, but as a Brahmagyani you are Sarvagyaha. You know Brahman, Brahman is Sarvam, and therefore you know Sarvam, because Brahman is all. And when you know Brahman, what do you become? All-knowing. And so therefore this is important distinction here. And then Pashyami achakshuhu saha shrunomi akarnaha aham vijanami vivikta rupam. I know everything in the universe. This is talking in the language of Ishvara. I know all the minute details of the universe. Nacha asti vetta mama. There is no, I know everything, but there is no one who knows me. No one who knows me. Why? Are you behind a veil so that nobody sees you and nobody knows you, but you from inside the veil see everything? No, not like that. I know everything because I am of the nature of all-knowingness. Nobody knows me because I am not an object. Simple, very simple. This we have been through many, many times. So even though it is having a little flair to its presentation, the truth here is very, very simple. So, aham pashyami, aham shrunomi, aham vijanami, and na mama vetta asti. Na mama vetta asti. Nobody is there to know what I am. Nobody knows me as an object. I am incomprehensible to people. Even though I am right there, people don't recognize the greatness, don't recognize me as great. They don't recognize the truth of themselves. And then, what am I? Chit sadaham. I am just unalterable consciousness that doesn't undergo any vikara. Next one. वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम् न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः न जन्मदेहेन्द्रियबुद्धिरस्ति We have heard of this somewhere. Kathopanishad? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. So, chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, this is what is chanted 3 times a day. Music to accompany the breakfast, lunch and dinner. This is what is always chanted. So here, very beautiful, the first 2 lines are taken from the are taken by the Bhagavad Gita from here, and then the last 2 lines are not taken by the Bhagavad Gita, specific to this Upanishad. So, Vedaihi Sarvaihi, in and through all the Vedas, in all the Vedas, what is there to be known? Ahameva Vedyah. Who is Aham here? Ishvaraha. Vedaihi Sarvaihi, in all the Vedas, what is the subject matter, Vishaya of the Vedas? Ishvara Jnanam, which is what? Atma Jnanam as Ishvara Jnanam. Knowing Ishvara not as somebody, a guy in the sky, and then who is making certain things happen. No, that is not going to liberate me. What is going to liberate me is that this Ishvara, Aham Asmi, I am this Ishvara, that oneness, that equation must be there, and then only the transformation can take place. So, Vedaihi Sarvaihi, Ahameva Vedyah, I am the only thing to know. Not the ritual to get a child, not the ritual to get money, not the ritual to go to heaven, Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana, not the ritual for all these things. What is there to be known? Only Bhagavan as oneself. That is the subject matter of the Veda. And then that means what? Here there could be a certain problem. If I am known through all the Vedas, and that means what? I am an object of the Vedas. Then the Vedas become everything, and I become an object of the Vedas. So that this kind of a thinking, the finitude of the Atma, Ma Bhut, may that not be there. Mistakenly thinking that the Atma is finite, and it is found in the pages of the Upanishad. So the Upanishad is greater than the Atma because the Upanishad houses the Atma. No. Therefore, I am not just an object or the subject matter of the Veda. What am I? Vedanta Krit. I am the author of the Veda and Vedanta. I am the author of both. See, now it is complete. If I was only that which is known through the Vedas, then I become an object. A silent, static, jada. Jada means what? Inert object. But here what am I? An agent that has written the Vedas. Vedanta Krit, I have authored the Vedas. That means what are the Vedas? My autobiography. I am featured in it and I am also the author of it. Vedaihi sarvaihi ahameva vedyah. It's not anything else that is to be known. No spells, no rituals, no nothing, no heaven. But all the desire for putra, vitta, loka, all these things, for all the various desires for children, progeny, money, etc., is for what? Whose sake? It's for the sake of free feeling that I have everything. I don't know that I have everything, therefore I look for small things, time-bound things become something for me to pursue because I don't know my timelessness. So, Vedaihi sarvaihi ahameva vedyah. Oh, then I should go to the author of the Vedas, which will be greater than what is revealed in the Veda. Who is the author of the Veda? Myself alone. I have authored the first portion of the Veda, which is in keeping with those people who are still emotionally immature and want certain things in life and are unable to commit to a life of knowledge. For them, I have authored the first portion of the Veda, where they can instead discipline themselves and make their desires by converting all their desires into prayers. When the desires become prayers, then what happens? Then it is all dharmic. I use only dharmic means to fulfill the desires. This is a very important first step, an extremely important first step. I use dharmic means, and so the mind is tamed down, the mind is tranquil. The raga dveshas, are what? They have that in what you give to the babies in the mouth to stop them from crying. What is that called? Pacifier. They have the pacifier in the mouth, the raga dveshas. The terrible twins are sleeping. They are not troubling. And they are not troubling at all. They are sleeping. And then what happens? Then as a result of this, because they are sleeping, I can get far ahead. I can gain this knowledge. So the first portion of the Veda is authored by me to help develop the antahkarana, emotional maturity for the people who don't have this emotional maturity, who are driven by their passions and then who are all over the place. The first portion of the Veda is developed to gain emotional maturity, and the second portion of the Veda, Vedanta, is to take that emotional maturity, and then, that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah. So, to take that emotional maturity and then do what with it? Study the truth of oneself, because the truth of oneself shines only in a heart that has emotional maturity. That's the only place where it shines. Otherwise it is like reading some foreign language whose script you don't understand. Some language, you take Greek or you take Russian or something, it's all just, you recognize the squiggles on the paper, you say, okay, it must be saying something, but you don't know what it is. So the clear antahkarana only is capable of giving the vision of Vedanta. So the first portion of the Veda which I have authored is what? Is showing this way to get ready for Vedanta. Vedanta krid api aham. I am the author of Vedanta also, through which all the jivas can gain liberation. Vedavit, and I am what? I am the author of the Veda, and also how can you be the author? Do you know the Veda? Yes, Vedavit eva cha aham. I am Vedanta krit and Vedavit, means I am the author of both the kandas, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. I am the author of everything that is there in the Veda. Okay, so the Veda talks about what? punya, papa, janma, all these things. Punarjanma. So that means you wrote all that? Yes, I wrote all that. And so if you wrote all that, that means you are also subject to all the things that you have written? No. Why? Na punya pape me. For me, there is no punya, no papa. Why? Go back to the previous verse. Apani padaha akarta. No legs, no hands. No sense organs. All seeing presence. That's all I am. If there are no actions, if I am not subject to action, how will I reap the results of action? Not possible. If you don't cook, chances are you won't eat. Okay? So it's just exactly like that. So not in the ashram, here it is provided, but when you are back to wherever you are from, when you go back, if you don't cook, no food. If you don't work, no money. That's how it is. So here, the karma is not there. The karma of anything is not there. There is no karma. The karma is completely forbidden for this Atma. There is no karma at all. Karma belongs to who? Jiva, not Atma. Karma cannot belong to Ishvara. Ishvara is free of karma. Jiva, being Ishvara, is also free of karma. So this karma is not affecting anybody at all. But we think it is affecting us. This is the problem. We think it is affecting us. And so therefore, what do we need to do? We need to quickly get this knowledge. That's all there is to do. No other option is available. So this karma doesn't affect the one who has understood aham kinchit na karomi. I don't do anything at all. In my presence, all actions take place. Like the Raja, when the Raja goes to the common areas of the kingdom, in the village market or somewhere in the village square or in the kingdom, and then everybody starts to behave. If nobody is cheating the customers, at least in that minute. Everybody is polite. Nobody is yelling at anybody. Everybody is fine. So likewise, in the presence of the Atma, all the things happen on their own without the Atma doing anything or causing somebody to do either. It cannot cause to do, it doesn't do. Navadvare pure dehi sukham aste. Sukham aste sits quietly in this citadel of the 9 doors. It sits quietly, neither doing nor causing something to be done. Naiva kurvan nakarayan. And that is the truth of this I. The truth of this I is I am not the doer, and therefore I don't attract the results of action. Na punya, na papa, and I am not the victim of other people's doing either. Na punya pape me. So, na punya pape me. For me there is no punya papa. Nasti nashaha. Neither is there destruction, no punya, no papa. And then if no death, nasha here is death. If no death is there, can there be birth? Na janma. Na janma, no birth. And then na dehendriya buddhihi. No birth, and then no accoutrements in the sense of that which will help me to do actions. Deha, body. First the hands and legs were denied, but then in the mind we can say, okay, there is a torso remaining. No, na deha, no body is there. Na indriyani, no sense organs. Na buddhihi. Buddhi means that buddhi which is particular to this particular body mind sense complex is not there. I am totally free of body. I am the only one to be studied in the Veda. I know the Veda. I am the author of the Veda and Vedanta, and yet I am not the object of the of this Veda. This is what has to be understood. Okay, we'll stop here. noise also stopped when the class stopped. So, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.